A few seconds after Alexander and his friend stood up, the restaurant seemed to hold its breath. The soft piano music continued to play, but at table 9, there was a silence that felt almost alive. Isabella remained near the counter, wiping her hands, her mind calm after the long evening. She didn't expect anything more from the situation. For her, it was over. But when she turned around and saw the empty table, she noticed something unusual. A folded napkin resting neatly beside a glass of wine. She walked over quietly. There, under the napkin, was a folded piece of paper. Next to it lay a stack of crisp bills, far more than any normal tip. Her heart skipped a beat. She unfolded the note carefully. The handwriting was elegant but slightly rushed. Intelligence isn't about wealth or titles. It's about how we treat others. Thank you for reminding me. For a long time, Isabella just stood there staring at the words. Her lips curved into a small smile, but her eyes softened. It wasn't about the money. It was about respect. A quiet apology written not in grand gestures but in a few humble lines. Meanwhile, near the restaurant's entrance, Alexander paused. Through the reflection on the glass door, he could see Isabella reading his note. For the first time that evening, he felt something rare, peace mixed with regret. "Alex, you coming?" one of his friends called. He nodded slowly. "Yeah," he said, his voice softer now. "Just a second." He turned back one last time, his gaze meeting hers across the room. There were no words, just a silent exchange of understanding. He gave a faint nod of respect. She returned a small nod of her own, simple and genuine. And then he left. Matteo came over, curious. "What happened?" he asked. Isabella showed him the note. Matteo whistled softly. "Wow, he actually apologized." "Not to me," she said, tucking the note into her apron. "To himself." Matteo laughed. "You think so?" She nodded. Sometimes people don't realize how they act until someone holds up a mirror. For the rest of the night, the restaurant felt different, lighter, calmer. The small moment had passed like a quiet storm, leaving behind something stronger than noise. Understanding. Later, as Isabella walked home under the moonlight, she thought about the man who had insulted her. She could have reacted with anger, but she hadn't. And because she chose calm over anger, something in him had changed. Sometimes the best way to teach isn't through words that hurt, but through actions that heal. A week later, Alexander returned, alone this time. No loud friends, no arrogance. He sat at the same table, quietly reading the menu. When Isabella approached, he smiled politely. "Buonasera, Signor Moretti," she greeted gently. "Buonasera, Isabella," he replied in careful Italian. "How are you?" She blinked in surprise but smiled. "I'm well, thank you." He nodded. "I wanted to say something. About last time." She tilted her head slightly. "You already did," she said softly, referring to the note. He smiled faintly. "Then I'll just say it again. Thank you." There was no pride in his tone anymore, only sincerity. That night when he left, Alexander didn't just leave as a millionaire. He left as a changed man. He had learned something money could never buy: humility. And Isabella? She went home with a peaceful heart, knowing she had lived up to her mother's words. She had lifted someone not with anger but with grace. The story of that evening quietly spread, becoming a local legend. It was a reminder that money can buy luxury but not class. Power can earn fear but not respect. And true strength is never loud. It's calm, kind, and brave. In the end, the night of silence turned into a story that would be remembered by everyone who heard it.